Can you shit at work?
Like,
can you tad at work?
Coming from?
Because are you that comfortable?
I think it depends your
what?
office.
Okay.
For instance, if you have one toilet and it's just like a bungalow, and it's opposite someone's office, like go do your shit somewhere else. Someone was telling me you have to do over the American something style, like in between your shit you flush. So that it doesn't smell. Like it wasn't like you guys don't like I'm chronically unlikely in the evening. Besties! Today in a happy mood. Anyway, besties, welcome back to episode 7. Yeah, welcome back to episode 7 of Ella Talks podcast with Ella and
Paula.
We have a lot of energy right now.
Yeah.
I'm so super excited. So what do we do before we digress?
We hold your hand as you navigate your career journey, be it finance, be it a promotion, be it a corporate body.
Yeah, both male and female.
Yes, please. Because we are unisex.
Yeah. Sis, tunataka pesa for all of us. By the way, one of our audience members from Kenya commented on our last episode that we should use more of Kiswahili. Like, how can Ugandans not speak Kiswahili? It's quite embarrassing for the East African community. And we're glad that our Kenyan community is viewing this. Asante sana. How do they say rafiki yangu? Yeah, rafiki is like friend. So I hope this is like an improvement to speaking Kiswahili. Right? Can you speak in Kiswahili what?
No. I know pesa.
Anything with money.
I know pesa. That's the Kiswahili word that I know.
How do they say good morning?
Karibu.
Ah,
is it?
Karibu is welcome.
Oh.
So I think it's like habari, muzuri, jina lako nani? What's your name?
Paula.
So you like jina langu Paula.
Interesting.
Yeah, say it. I'm teaching you something.
Jina lako.
Jina langu.
Jina langu.
Paula.
Jina langu Paula.
Wait, Paula, that's quite embarrassing.
Excuse me, don't you coming for me? No.
And yeah, I was seeing your posts and someone seems to have been to Ethiopia.
First of all, I missed my flight. I don't want to remember Ethiopia because getting there was so ghetto. I missed my flight, but I reached well. Of course, it was work. It was nice, but I didn't really get to experience the country so much because I was working so much. By the time that day would end, I'm tired. And these people close their places really early. Like by 6:30, everyone is...
It's like Rwanda. Like
yeah, 6:30.
No, Rwanda is at
I couldn't shop as much because like by the time I'm leaving office or by the time I'm leaving my workstation, people are closing up. Then you bump into traffic when you're going to your place of rest. So, but I did enjoy the food. The food is a bit different, definitely. I did experience a lot of friendly people. I did not have any issue with the people. Maybe because I was a tourist. Maybe they thought I had like some dollars, but like I didn't have any bad experience with. They helped me from the airport, from the hotel. It was really such a swift journey for me.
Like I'm glad you experienced that. Like I love traveling. I believe that when you will travel, that also influences your kind of knowledge or your way of exposure.
Yeah.
In a way, because I feel like the kinds of conversation you have going forward with different people is totally different. Your mind is more open. Now you know how different people perceive certain things, how certain people behave. So you are able to come back and they're like, yeah, people close early. In Uganda, life is starting.
Like we don't sleep.
10 p.m. someone said, Oliwa?
I saw you were on a panel. Clock it. Kongs. Guys, you. I have stage fright. I know I have a podcast, but I mean, it's only me and Ella and the team.
Yeah.
But like now people are like looking at you. Bro, like what was your experience?
Let me tell you, on that panel as the youngest, like it was by Ministry of Water and Environment, the Republic of Uganda. So, to our SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So we're looking at what the theme was, the tenfold, like we're going, literally, the government wants to since our current, economy is around at 50 billion, so they want to tenfold that 500 billion. So they're like, how are water resources useful, in attaining the tenfold? It was a beautiful experience from the time that I entered the gates to, when you're a panelist and I was the youngest. At first, I felt very frightened because, you're with people from UNICEF,
I can
banks,
imagine.
like people are well studied, like their experiences in 10 years plus. And here is me, a youth advocate, SDGs. I think in this whole advocacy, I'm not that old. Like I think I have like 3-4 years in terms of advocacy, but they were very welcoming. They were like, oh my God, Angela, you're a lawyer. And I'm like, yes, so how does law? And, and I was able to explain to them. And we had very intellectual conversations. That's what I love about these people. Like, they were not looking at me as a kid. They were able to have like those open conversations.
Actually, I think I had a similar experience. Like, I would speak in the rooms at work, in the workstations, and people would be shocked because, like when they're seeing a very short girl who's just carrying her laptop, and then she starts speaking about the law and the health, the global health pandemics, and, everyone is shaking their heads and they're like from different parts of the world. And I was like, oh my God, like the Lord can give you so much favor.
Yeah.
That you underestimate like you never ever think that one time, because Ella, we literally have just finished school.
Yeah, that's like,
we're not like
real.
Yeah, we have really just finished school, and for me to have such an experience is really like,
I really thank God for that. Like,
can you shit at work?
Like,
can you tad at work?
Coming
because someone actually came in a personal DM because no one can actually comment that one, but like, can you shit at work? Is it comfortable? Like, it's really like NGOs. They rent houses.
In houses, and
they have like one toilet or like
so when
two.
you're done, everyone knows.
Like the person was telling me like, how do I? Because every lunchtime.
So they were complaining. They want to
because the toilet is directly opposite. Like that's such a very complicated thing.
I don't think we have so much to say
because are you that comfortable?
I think it depends your office.
Okay.
For instance, if you have one toilet and it's just like a bungalow, and it's opposite someone's office, like go do your shit somewhere else. Like if it's a hotel, certain places have like open vents. I was seeing someone on TikTok.
Guys, our production team is laughing, so I don't understand. Like, I'm just saying.
Our production team is in a huge space, so they can't relate.
But I think it's actually an issue. Like, people should really be considerate. Like
think read the room.
Like, if you're really, I don't know.
Someone was telling me you have to do over the American something style. Like in between your shit, you flash, so that it doesn't smell. Like it wasn't like. You guys don't like, I'm chronically online in the evening. and she said it's called over the American something. Like in between your shit, do flash, proceed.
I hope the person who inboxed me, please, I hope you have gotten
your answers.
If you want to approach the person, like, I don't know, I think just when you see that they've entered, fake an excuse and first give yourself some space. Like if they're really making you uncomfortable, because like, it's human nature to shit. Like you can't even start.
I hope that answers your question. But thank you for trusting us with such We trust you.
You make the job difficult a bit to advise you, but wow.
And also, since we talking about the questions we've received, one of our community members, Hannah, sent through a question asking that we should talk about do the schools that we go to influence our way, like in the job market? Do they have any kind of influence when we get into the job market? Before you even answer, which school did you go to? How was your school life?
Okay, in O level, I went to St. Joseph's in Zambia, called Joginsa.
Yeah.
Anyone who is watching this and knows I'm from Joginsa knows what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I remember one time, I don't remember what I did. They punished me. They told me the teacher then gave me a nail cutter and told me to go and cut grass in the field. Like, the punishments in that school are so out of this world. Like, I remember when I reached Form 4, I didn't want to come back. I like that experience of Joginsa shapes you so much as a woman to be strong-hearted, and I think I appreciate that as a school, but I didn't want to have that experience alone the whole of my high school. So I went to Makerere College. That is my school. Like, that's my school down, because I feel like there was a lot of freedom. Anyone who's from Makerere College knows the freedom we have. And it's just a fun school. Like, we have a time. Like, I liked it so much. And we were like in Mulawa, so it was very far from the city. I had fun. I had a nice time.
Oh.
Yeah. But I think when the person asks that question, I think it's about university. I don't know.
I think it depends, because you see us at Nabingo, like I went to Trinity College Nabingo for like 6 years in a girls' school. Yeah, you know.
No boys.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Do you know what happens? So from senior one, I'm a maroon. Like every color, like if you're a maroon, we had maroons. Maroons and blues were called royals. Then greens and yellows were called the divas.
Okay.
So you would find that if a maroon was like in a trouble with a green, a blue would come like and defend a maroon. And if like a yellow...
That's solidarity.
Yeah. And if a yellow was like in a problem, like, you know, some stuff, then a green would come, you know, and defend like all that. But in my time, I think Nabingo shapes you all around, because from your senior one, you are cleaning the compound. Senior two, you're doing a different chore. Senior three, you do a different chore, like different chores. But what I didn't like was the farm work. So now it became like times of punishment. You would go scrub pavements. Like, why am I scrubbing a pavement? Like, you scrub pavements, you go to the farm. We used to do like peeling. But I felt like it was more of a Chiganda culture. I think it's because it's a Chiganda school. So you learn like peeling, those things. Anyway, it's a skill that they teach you. But in terms of social-wise, we used to have functions with our brothers from SMAC and Namilyango. You know, when you enter Nabingo, they tell you this history of guys from SMAC and Namilyango have the same founder. I think they're brothers. Then the one who founded Nabingo is like their brother, something. So we end up calling ourselves brothers. So all functions, when you invited both schools, they would literally pop up. And that's the same, you get to see like the boys. But there is a rule. When it reached dancing time, you can't dance with a boy.
Oh.
If they found you dancing with a boy, like...
At Makerere College, that wasn't
like,
there.
you know, like, you know that dancing a meaning? Like that kind of dancing?
It's called dabbing.
Rubbing. You would receive a punishment.
I remember at St. Joseph's that I don't know. Actually, I think I have very blurry memories of St. Joseph's, because I think it was just me doing punishments all the time. So I tried to block it out so much. I think... Okay, you know, sometimes you try to understand the girls' schools because you don't know what these boys are doing with those girls. You'd really, really try to understand. But then I feel like schools that are mixed are sharper. Like, people already know what's supposed to go down. I feel like they're more self-aware compared to girls in a single-sex school.
Not really. Like, I think they teach us more of solidarity, like as girls, because any person from my school, if I met you, like, would literally click, like we are sisters with that. And also the way we relate with boys, it's kind of, okay, if you've not seen a boy and you're not grown at, that's a bit tougher for you, but you tend to exclude, like, let me not like.
So you're saying it actually does affect?
It does affect you in a certain way. Like,
so you're saying the school that you go to does affect you, like shape you?
It does shape you.
Does it help? Is the school you go to a determinant to getting a job?
Now, that's a tricky one, because I
didn't.
My good friend Jojo, I do miss you, my dearest sister. She had this conversation on her Instagram saying, you know, the schools you go to, and she was really saying, look for the schools that you actually go to. Don't just take your school to your children, to 4 schools because, they get 8 in 8, like, Choose a school that you know will shape your child. Now, you get certain morals, you get certain character, like there's certain character development. Like, you know, when they say girls from this school walk this way, girls from this school act this way, people from this school act this way. Now, when you get into the employment world, I've actually seen it play. Like, I've been in a room where someone said, I only want people from UCU and Makerere, period. So how about other universities? Now that's with universities. Now you'll find that now we're in a chikos, like people like a group now, because you know we have old girls association and everything. So you find that if I didn't have a job, but I'm in an old girls, you know, meeting association, we had a dinner and I'm able to talk to someone, then they're able to connect me to other people because, hey, yeah, she went to my school, I'm gonna do that for you. So there's that kind of favoritism that comes along because they know, okay, at my school, this is the kind of education they teach. I know people of this school have this certain sort of character, so this is what I'm going to go for. So you find that the people don't want to work with people from different schools. Like I was at a certain law firm and people from there were from a certain, we call them G8, yes. Strictly that school, and the only difference is different years. So now what happens to someone who went to like Nakaperi who has a big dream and would want to work in such places? Remember, those people already have an advantage by the fact that they went to that so-called G8 school. That's a plus. Like if you've read the outliers, like it says some people have like a
but I also feel like now some of the schools that are from that G8, I've not seen it with male people.
What?
I've not seen it with men.
It's worse.
Because I'm a woman, I mean, I just show my face and smile and get what I want. But I feel like for the G8 schools for girls, they are like cliques. They don't know how to socialize outside their schools. And it's certain schools, like, they don't know how, like...
Are you trying to say if I'm from Nabingo, I don't interact with people from
You can
Jogisa?
Interact with me, but there's a way you lower, like...
because she's not from
Exactly,
Nabingo,
like, even when you... There's a way you interact with someone from your same school, even though you weren't in the same class, than how you interact with me. And you see that, like, in social gatherings. I feel like it's such a bad trait that schools have made because you don't teach these young girls to associate life outside. Because I mean, like when we enter the workspace, there is so much, like people have come from all over the world, everywhere, every part of the country. But I also think you don't have to also blame the school so much. It's you as a person and also your upbringing. I would say like
character. Because see, certain school instill certain values in people.
Yeah.
Like I will know if I were in these schools, this is how they act. Obviously, it's gonna be great for you. But now it now also goes to a person in terms of implementation. I've gained all this knowledge, the whole character development. Obviously, we can be siblings under the same household and we grow up totally different character, different interactions with people. So it all goes back to, you know, it's an individual effort that someone actually has to take. For instance, if I know I'm from a very disadvantaged school, what can I use to my advantage that I can, you know, what can I use to, you know, beat someone who's from the difference, because they already have an advantage. So what can I show? So that means it goes back to your character, to, you know, you are now, you're going to have to be skilled as a person. You're going to be disgustingly educated as a person. But obviously that goes back to
And then I think you also have to learn to speak better English. People with slang. It's not that I'm edging, but I don't like slang. Because half the time I don't know what you mean.
Have you eaten megu?
What is gumite? That word. I had to Google. Someone commented on gumite. I had to Google.
Someone commented on our first episode and is like, you people are gumite. The future is bright. And I had to ask, I'm like, actually, I read it as gamite. And I went to Google and I'm like, what does like gamite mean? And it's
they make us look
they made it like
old.
A mineral. And until some, like now
gumite.
one of my friends was like, Ella, are you gumite?
Please stop.
And I had a friend called Pride. She wouldn't read slang. Like in all her letters, she wouldn't read slang and shorthand. So when her friends wrote her a letter, I would like have to help her out.
Yeah, like it also bothers me like on WhatsApp when someone texts shorthand.
And you also in the corporate world, I think you need to read the room. Why are we at office and you're using slang?
Because now that's what it has. Like, you see, the thing is, there are some schools that, of course, now I've not been in high school for a minute, so I don't know what's there, but like slang was so normal in high school that it carried on even in campus. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I hope we have answered your question. We don't want to over.
It does. It really does shape, but now you have, that's the fact, that's how society has programmed it. You've been to a certain school, these are people you're gonna, interact with, and you go to an office, but it's a plus. If I went to an office and they bring your academic documents, nowadays they ask for our O-level slips, man, I don't know why. They ask for our levels, and they're like, oh, you went to Trinity College, Nabingo. It switches up. It does switch up. If I see my colleague in the bank, I want to make a line.
I don't have. OG. Anyway, as I've said, it's character. I don't have that. I don't care. I care about what you can do for me. Are you productive? Do you have output? I really don't care about which school you come from.
Yeah, but you're forgetting. Okay, that is it. But I think that's what people should, adopt going forward, because we're now speaking to other people who haven't been to such schools. Obviously, you have to do more times than the person who has gone there. Obviously, the school may take them there, but what maintained them in those places is the character and your way of behavior, your morals and everything. But now you who has been to those schools, the truth hurts. That's it. Like, you're going to find some places hard to navigate. But once you're there, like, your grades could take you there, but then your character, like, I'm so spots on with character. I'm at my NPC. People have bad manners.
Anyway, so Ella, let's also talk about burnout. It's Q2, and I have to like be real for a second, like vulnerable. I have been stretched too thin because there are things that came on my plate that I didn't plan for. And now I have to do them, and time is running out. Like, you have work and you have been given more responsibilities. You have a business. Our podcast is actually now also like a full-time. Yeah. And then you now have to supervise workers. I reached a point whereby I just silenced my business because I was burnt out, and like, I was burnt out so much that now I was always tired. Like, you wake up in the morning and you are tired, and then you are like a zombie at work. And then after that, and like 5 up to 6, now you're trying to navigate your business. So like, what's been your experience with mental burnout? Like, because most 9 to 5 people also want a side hustle. Like, let's talk about the burnout. Like, how do you navigate? Like, I think people should allow themselves have a break. It's so scary to have a break, because actually my friends have been coming in my DMs and like, oh my God, what's wrong with like candy? Like, what's happening? I'm like, guys, I'm overwhelmed. Yeah, like I'm overwhelmed. But then I also think that when you get a break, you think bigger and like better.
Yeah, I've experienced burnout for the last, when you asked, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
You're always even forgetful, like when you have burnout. You don't remember things.
Now, let me tell you. I had so many tasks. Like, I have 2 organizations. There is a podcast. I am working somewhere else. You know how I had to leave my job, guys. I practice what I preach. And so, like, leave my job. Then I had to I got another job. So, like, trying to, like, activities are on activities. I have a campaign running. I have a new product for my, waste management with the B Visionaries, the Mercedes-Benz Fellowship. Like, there is so much that was happening that I forgot I had a client's meeting, because now I was sleeping at 2 a.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m. and I have to also now wake up in the morning and still have to go through
You're literally functioning on caffeine.
Exactly. So I was like, in fact, then I remembered my mentor. I don't remember I've ever shared. Oh my God, it's been long. I have to reach out. She told me, plan. This is how you should plan it. You know how you're cooking? Guests are coming. So, I have to cook rice, beef, everything. So, you need to know which one requires more time, which one can be prepared faster, which one, when I started, influences implementation of other tasks. That's why I don't multitask, because once I decide to multitask, I'll not finish anything.
Guys, I'm such a multitasker.
So she advised me out. Yeah, she advised me, take one thing at a time. And it's always okay to tell yourself, it's okay, I can't manage this. It's okay to tell your client, can we please, postpone this to this, because we are all human. How am I supposed to function with one brain cell? Literally, I've had brain freezes, like super, super bad.
Actually, I think what I've learned from rest, because for me, my advice is rest. Rest, and as you have said, like prioritize and learn to hold certain things. When the podcast was just kicking off, it took a lot of time. But now that it can now, it has stabilized. Now I was like, okay, now I can come back to my business and rebrand. Guys, House of Candy is like open. And I was like, let me rebrand.
So from Candy Cocktails
it's
and
now
events to House of Candy.
Because I got tired of explaining to people what candy could do. I wanted it to speak for itself, because we do wine tastings, I outsource mixologists, I do cocktails, I do mocktails, I train bars on hospitality. You guys, I started in a kitchen at campus.
We have similar stories.
I started in a kitchen at campus because I wanted to get my friends. I was the mixologist at house parties. Do you get? And from that, of course, it grew as a business, and I made so many mistakes, but it has grown more than anything that I had ever imagined.
Well
so
done.
I was like, you know what? I can't keep the candy cocktails anymore, because it's now more than that.
Yeah.
You get? Now distributors want to work with me, but the name is the issue. Do you get? So I was like, okay, now I really, really have to change. And it's scary, because when you say House of Candy, it's something really huge. You get?
I love it.
I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. But now I don't have to explain to people what House of Candy is. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to release a new product, but it's not cocktail related.
Yeah.
So it's not cocktail related, and we have so many events that are in the works. I don't want to be this business owner that has 5 business pages. I want my business to just be one-stop sign whereby everyone can get what they want. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself, but if I hadn't rested, I don't think I would have come up with that name, because now I would be working on jet fuel. I wouldn't be in that headspace that I can think clearly. And then because you can't think clearly as a business owner, you also can't guide your employees properly.
Yeah, I feel like people have a problem with resting because they feel guilty.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm one of those persons. I'll actually guilt trip myself, because I feel like
why are you resting?
Why am I resting when my teammates are not resting? Okay, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think whether they might have rested, but I don't know.
Also, what's their definition of rest might not be your definition of rest.
Exactly. It could be totally different. So do I deserve the rest? That was number one. And I was like, I need to prove to myself that I can actually do this. I'm sort of a perfectionist these days, but I've tried to deal with, try to be a bit messy. Nowadays, my brother calls me the messiest child in the house, because before, if you visited my place, I would lay my bed and I don't want you to sit on my bed.
Oh yeah, those people.
Yeah. So it reached time when I had to buy a couch, sit, why is sitting? Even me who has laid the bed, I don't want to sit on until it's bedtime. Do you get it?
You should really learn to allow yourself to rest.
So now I'm getting it, right? So my room can be super disorganized. Now I'm super okay. My brain.
You don't have OCD.
Yeah, now my brain can say, hey, that can be.
That's okay. There are more important things.
That's okay. That's super okay. So I'm taking it one step at a time. For people that are like me, that are finding it so hard to take rest, you actually need the rest, because you're gonna get brain freezes. You can't think. There's a time I read this case on IP, and I had to get submissions. Anyway, those submissions got us, we won the case, but I had to. I thought, I was because we have to think outside the line, not any
So
other.
if you have brain fog, then
I had a brain freeze, and I'm working on a deadline. I had a brain freeze. I told my colleague, I can't do this anymore because I can't think. And you have to come back tomorrow at 8. So I had to schedule, can I come to office at 10? Please give me that leeway. Anyway,
guys, thank you so much for listening to our show. And our takeaway: rest, have enough rest. Do not feel guilty. Please be allowed to shit at work. Yeah?
Yeah, you can shit, but
Yep. Then please, camera, please come here. Guys, subscribe. Do you see me? I will know when you're not subscribing. Are you watching? You're viewing.
First way.
Tap the like button.
Our friends. We have so very many friends.
We see you not
We
subscribing.
see you not subscribing.
Why?
You're not subscribing.
Are we not
Aren't you
funny?
supporting us?
We are. We try to be funny.
Yeah, we are really funny.
Yeah. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Follow us on our social media. We are growing a community for any young girl out there looking
Young girl
lost.
and boy.
Old man or
Old
woman,
man, yeah.
trying to figure it out, juggling your 9 to 5 with a side hustle. This is your go-to podcast. Love you. Thank you so much. Bye.